Okay, so everyone's worst day of the week. I actually enjoy it myself. It's leg day, so we're back at Rip Gym training legs. Now we're starting with a leg extension. So this is a great exercise to do first because it'll help warm your knees up. If you don't do this first, I often do a leg curl first to work the back of the leg, but that often warms the knees up just as well. So we're going to start with this. We're going to do a quad focus day 4 exercises. Starting with this, now this is a single leg curl, so it really helps you get a mind-muscle connection working one leg at a time. So I often think with my clients and with people I train, you do one area of your body, like one side at a time, you often get a better connection if you're finding that that's an issue with you. So leg extension first, just going to start with the left leg. So it's quite a simple movement, but it's easy to do wrong because if you use too much weight, you end up bouncing the machine or resting it on the bottom there. So we're going to keep it controlled, don't let it touch the bottom, come up to a slight pause where you contract the quad and bring it back down. So Robbie's going to show you how it's done wrong, and it's often where people use too much weight. They swing it up, they can't pause it at the top, and they let it crash down fast and bounce off the bottom. So drive it up and crash it down. Exactly, now you can see there that there's a bounce and momentum taking it back up. That's taking no load on the leg and making the machine work for you, not work with you. Okay, so moved on to the second exercise. This is a real big mass building exercise. So I've been asked a lot of times, can you build good quads without doing a free bar squat? And you can. If you can do a free bar squat, always do one. But if you want to isolate your quads and take your lower back out, I think a hack squat's probably the best exercise. You've got to get low, you've got to use the full range of motion. Remember, if you do a hack squat low, the bottom position really engages your glutes and your hamstrings till your legs get to about 90 degrees, and then it's all drive through your quads. So it works the whole of the legs. It's a great exercise, and I think builds the biggest amount of quad sweep, which is this part of your leg. So I'm going to show you how it's done properly. So it's a great exercise, really strict. Now people do this wrong because they've probably got too much weight that they can handle and they don't go very deep. So they do this very short movement. And as you can see, his legs are hardly bending, and that often comes from using too much weight. So you're going to get a very minimal amount of gain in your quads there. There's just not enough range of motion. Okay, so we moved on to third exercise for our quads. So this is a leg press, 45-degree leg press. Now loads of people love training with this in the gym. It is a great exercise. Can put a lot of weight on it. Now I'm all for adding weight to the machines as long as you've got good full range of motion. So your knees need to come right into your chest. So you're almost squashing yourself doing this exercise, and to the point just before your bum feels like it wants to round off the seat. If your bum rounds off the seat, it's very unsafe. So don't go to that extension point, but just shy of that is where you want to go. People will do this wrong because they load too heavy and they again do a short range of motion. They don't come down far enough with the knees and they don't really get much activation in their quads. So we want to do this the correct way, and I always think with all the presses or all the squats or all the leg presses, what you should do is come all the way down, stop, control that weight before you drive back up, so there's no momentum, no bounce, and that makes your muscle really, really activate. So I'll show you how it's done right. So people often say, like, where do you put your feet on this big plate? At the bottom, at the top, wide, close. But the answer really is the closer down you put your feet, it's going to activate your quads more. But it does put more pressure on your knees. So if you causes your knee ache, bring your feet higher up. If you put your feet right at the top, it's going to work the back of your legs more, bring in your hamstrings. So it will still work your quads, but also bring your hamstrings in. If you go wide on the plate, it's going to work your adductors, the inner part of your thigh. And if you go close together, on the foot plate, keep your feet together. It's going to work the outer sweep of your legs. So you've got variances you can change from week to week. So Rob's going to show you how it's done wrong. That's if he can even reach the bar. Can you reach that, Rob? Okay. So if it's too heavy, what you see in the gyms is this. Short range of motion, his hands are even on his legs, which are helping him push his knees. So really he's getting an arm workout more than a leg workout. Okay, good news. We're on the last exercise. Okay, so if you've done 3 good hard quad exercises, you shouldn't have much left in your quads. So this exercise I've moved on to now is a finishing exercise, and it's great. It's called a sissy squat. Hopefully your gym has one. If not, beg and borrow and pray with your manager or owner of the gym to get one. So what it does, it isolates your quads without really any other force. So it really isolates your quads by you squatting down, and it allows you the luxury of being able to lean back because you won't fall over. It locks you in place. So lean your body back so your legs rest at the back of the pad. Now I would say to people, put your hands out for balance and then come all the way down. So a really low squat before you come up. Don't lock your knees at the top, and that's the movement. Now if you want to make that harder, you can hold a plate across your chest. You can get someone to load a bar on your back. You can even move this apparatus into, say, a squat rack or into a Smith machine and use that as the weight. But what I love doing at the end is supersetting it. So finish with your last quad exercise. So we've done leg press. Jump straight off the leg press, run over to this and see how many you can get. If you can get 20 of these after leg pressing, you're doing great. So try that at home. Okay, so the way this is done wrong is people are a bit afraid that they're going to fall back, or their legs are so knackered they can't do it properly. So you want to stay upright as you do it. And what Rob's going to show you is where people do it wrong, they lean over, they lean forward. So they're coming really far down and they're standing up, and they think that that's doing the exercise. It's not really. There's not enough bend in the quad. So what you're doing is a very small movement on your quad, and a lot of that is coming into the back. So you want to be able to stay upright and have the faith that you won't fall over and lean back. If you've got a training partner or a friend, just come behind and say lean back, lean back, lean back, and help them come back to get their confidence up that you're behind them. So do not miss doing this exercise. It's a great way to finish legs.